Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Clover Rosie Art. Today I will be setting up my May bullet journal spreads. So the theme that I chose as May is Avatar: The Last Airbender themed. My sister and I recently finished watching this show and I loved it so much. It's one of my new favorite shows and I know that it had to be my next bullet journal theme. I can't believe that I didn't watch it until now. On the cover page, I am doing 4 boxes, and I'm drawing in a different element/bending style in each one. For a lot of these spreads, I drew inspiration from ones that I saw on Pinterest. On the quote page next to the title page, I decided to draw all of the 5 main characters and write Avatar. Instead of saying The Last Airbender underneath it, I wrote the best show ever instead. I thought it was so cool to not just bring parts and the aesthetic of the show into my spreads, but also bring in the Avatar characters. Because without the characters, there would be no Avatar show. I was so blown away by how real the characters felt and how cool the world was. I was not ready for this show to end at all. Honestly, I loved all of the characters, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Sokka, Azula, or Katara, or Zuko. I know, they're all tied. And then they're followed by Toph, Aang, and Suki, and as well as Ty Lee and May, and Uncle Iroh just rises above all the rest. I love how funny Sokka was, while not just being the comic relief in the show. And Azula is literally the best villain ever. All the characters are so strong in their own ways and make decisions that are always believable to their characters. And the lore and world building is also amazing as well. The seasons just got better and better and better. It's crazy how even though it was made in 2005, 16 years later, it is still absolutely amazing. If you were like me a few months ago and never saw Avatar: The Last Airbender, I highly recommend checking it out. Believe me, it will not disappoint. It's on Netflix, just so you guys know, so if you have Netflix, you have no excuse. You better go and watch it. Anyway, after I was finished these 2 pages, I moved on to the calendar. I wanted to incorporate a different aspect of the series into each page, so for the calendar, I chose the Spirit Oasis. The fish in it are like the yin-yang symbol, with one being the moon spirit and the other being the ocean spirit. They come into full effect at the end of season 1. To show the black and white in the calendar, I chose to keep one side white and color the other side in all black. It looks so satisfying when it's sped up and the black is just spreading across the page. For the side that is all black, I used my white gel pen to add in the details. I'll have to make sure to keep my white gel pen handy when filling out the calendar for May. I love how simple but beautiful this spread looks. It really represents a big aspect of season 1 with a lot of high stakes. In case someone has not watched the series yet, I'm really trying not to spoil anything. Anyways, after the calendar spread, I moved on to the mood tracker. For the mood tracker, I decided to dedicate this spread to the best animal in all of Avatar, Appa! Appa is the best sky bison ever, and it hurt me so much in season 2 when he was separated from the team. That was so sad. I did a ring mood tracker with Appa sleeping on top of it. He's so cute! Then inside the ring, I wrote the numbers 1 to 31. I also drew Appa again at the bottom, but this time he's flying on his back in the sky. Finally, I wrote Appa, yip yip, which are the code words that Aang says to make Appa fly, of course. I also love the animal Momo too, of course, but Appa was so much more memorable to me. I loved coloring in this page so much. The colors all look so good together. I colored in details on Appa brown, and then colored in the clouds in the background with 2 different purple markers. After that page, I didn't have enough of Appa, so I decided to make a quote page with Appa as well. The quote says, "The limit is beyond the sky." This is the perfect quote for Appa, honestly. I love these Appa pages so much. I drew Appa on this page as well, of course. And I love the gradient that I did in the word sky. It's really pretty and fades into each other so perfectly. Is your favorite animal in Avatar also Appa, or is it some other animal? Make sure to comment that down below. It better be Appa, just kidding. Next, it was time to move on to the habit tracker page. On this page, I decided the theme to be Suki in her Kyoshi warrior outfit. Yep, that is the theme. I love Suki as a character so much, so I decided to have each of her habits on the fans. Also, I ship Suki and Sokka so much. They are the perfect couple together. I love how strong Suki is as well. As her quote on the side, I wrote, "I am a warrior, but I'm a girl too." I love that line. If you didn't know, Suki is the leader of a group of girl warriors called the Kyoshi Warriors. I love the Kyoshi Warriors. I feel like I keep on saying that I love different things in this show, but I do. I love the show so much. I also drew in other fans in the picture that Suki isn't holding so I can write in more habits. Like always, writing in all the little numbers on them takes forever and ever and ever. After I finished outlining this page, I grabbed some greens, grays, golds, and brown markers and began to color this page all in. I love how the Kyoshi warrior colors look all together. Also, no, I did not forget to color in Suki's face. I left it white because of the Kyoshi warriors wear makeup, which includes having their whole face white. I also draw in gold diamonds into the background, just because I thought it looked cool and to add a little bit of extra color and dimension to the page. Next, I move on to the next page, which is the Rats Free Roam Time page. If you didn't know before, I have adorable pet rats. On this page, I themed it to the Cabbage Man in Avatar. Of course he is saying his iconic line, "My cabbages!" I like to think that he is saying it right now because my 2 pet rats stole all his cabbages and are eating them. They love having fruits and vegetables as treats. I love how the themes of these 2 pages sort of go together because of the greens. Next is the movies and TV shows watched page. I had to do a page themed to Uncle Iroh, so I decided that this would be a good page for him. I made 2 different sections like tea bags, since Uncle Iroh loves tea, of course. Then, I drew him in the bottom left corner, and I wrote 4 of his quotes in the upper right corner on the top of the white lotus symbol. The first quote that I chose for him is, "If you look for the light, you can often find it, but if you look for the darkness, that is often all you'll ever see." The second quote is, "You know, Prince Zuko, destiny is a funny thing. You never know how things are going to turn out." Third is the quote, "Sometimes the best way to solve your own problems is to help out someone else." And finally, "Sharing tea with a fascinating stranger is one of life's true delights." Uncle Iroh has so many amazing quotes. Anyways, next it's time to move on to my playlist and books read page. For the playlist box, I themed it to that nomad from the one episode who sang lots of songs, including his Secret Tunnel song. Then for books read, I have it on a water tribe scroll like the one that Katara stole from the pirates. So, as you can probably tell, in these chapters and sections, I am doing side characters, and the weekly spreads are going to be themed to the 5 main characters. So now you may think that I'm done with all the trackers, but I decided to do a new tracker for this month. This is a tracker for how much time I am spending outside, since it's spring now. I themed this page to Judy, and the quote there is no war in Ba Sing Se. I tried to make Judy's smile as big as I could. I loved all the episodes in Ba Sing Se because of the mystery involved in it. It left me on the edge of my seat. They were so good! Next, I drew another quote page, except there were oh so many quotes on it. This page has Azula, the best villain ever in my opinion. I can't read all of the quotes on here, of course, because there's just so many. So I'll just read a few of my favorites, like, "Don't flatter yourself, you were never even a player." Or, "My mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt." I think the funniest of Azula's quotes is probably the one where she is trying to flirt with someone and says, "That's a sharp outfit, Chan. Careful, you could puncture the hull of an Empire-class Fire Nation battleship, leaving thousands to drown at sea, because it's so sharp." Or the one where she says, "Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way." Or, "No, you've miscalculated. You should have feared me more." If you want to read the rest of all of her quotes, pause this video and you can read them. Finally, I did the first weekly spread, which is themed to Aang. I drew Aang, his glider, a ball of air, and air illustrations in different parts of it. I also wrote the quote, "Air is the element of freedom. Air nomads detach themselves from worldly concerns and find peace and freedom." Also, Uncle Iroh said this quote, so another Uncle Iroh quote is included in my bullet journal. I love these colorful dots that I did behind the days of the week. I love how this spread as well as the entire theme turned out. The other weekly spreads for this month are going to be themed to Katara, Toph, Zuko, and Sokka. After I finish this weekly spread, it's time for my final flip through. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you enjoyed, so you'll be notified every time that I post a new video. Also, comment down below if you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender before. Hopefully you have. Bye friends, and remember, keep being creative.